Greetings, Black family, but greetings, Black family, to the Asiatic Black nation and to the whole planet Earth. This is Super Mike. What's going on? Very quick few thoughts. I want us to think about what happens to people who reject solutions just because they don't like the source of the solution or what the solution says. Okay? So what happens to that type of person? And I'll give a couple of examples. If you're broke, you don't have much money, or maybe you're working at Popeyes. So you're working at Popeyes. You're feeling that you're not moving forward in your life. And you start drinking or abusing sex or drugs because you're not happy. You don't know how to move your life forward. And somebody suggests to you, hey, you need to study this discipline or that discipline. You're good at singing. You're good at drawing. You're good at making deals. Why don't you study, mortgage? Why don't you study business? Why don't you, invest in your mind? He said, nah. So what happens to the person now? So you have a problem. You're feeling bad, not feeling like your life is progressing. And somebody that you didn't like gave you a suggestion that is good. And you reject that suggestion. You reject that solution. And you reject the solution without verifying a better solution. What happens to you? All right? Now, that scenario can play out a lot of different ways because there's a lot of us that have many problems in the world. Some of us are very educated, smart, and we have a lot of solutions. But no matter what level we're on, we have problems that we need help on. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how much education you are. And we're getting solutions. But sometimes we're so educated, we're so smart, we're so studied, we're so, researched on certain things that when we do have problems, we think we're too good. We think we're better than the source of solutions. People are giving us solutions, and we don't have a stable standard to measure that solution against. So what I'm talking about, we're dealing with the quality of what's right and what's wrong. That's the foundation of this. Who has the authority to dictate what's right and wrong? If you believe, if you have a belief in your head that right and wrong is up to whoever says it, then you're going to be on all over the place because you have no authority to tell other people anything if that's what you believe. Because if right and wrong, if the standard of right and the standard of wrong is able to change based on just the whims and opinions of people, how are you gonna create a standard for society to make judgments on? The foundational standard of right and wrong must be in a clear, simple standard. And to me, the foundation of right and wrong is the foundation of life, because the purpose and the point of life is to survive. And what is good for the longevity and survival of life and in harmony with the overall standard. And I mean, to me, right and wrong is measured by universal. That's why I always show a lot of universal stuff, because that's your foundation. We can't walk unless we're walking on the planet Earth. Unless and the planet Earth submits to a law, a universal law. So the sun, all of these things submit to universal laws. That's your standard of right and wrong. Okay? So, that brings me back to the original point. What happens to you if I tell you, if you have a problem, if you're having problems, let's say in your home, in your life, in your society, in your business, and maybe the foundation of the problem is a moral issue. If you believe that morality is solely based on an opinion, and when someone presents to you solutions, maybe you don't like the person, and maybe you don't like what the solution tells you that you must give up. Because a lot of times the reason why we're having a lot of problems is because we have a misunderstanding of how, in our head, the way things we believe should go is not how things are actually going to go. And sometimes when you have that disconnect, and whatever you believe in your head how it should go, that's the decision making you'll make. But the way it will actually happen in the world is the way it's going to actually fucking happen. And then when you become surprised or you become disappointed by the results of your miscalculation, you get mad or you get disappointed, and then you have problems. So anyway, I just wanted to raise that question. What happens to people when they reject the solution? And then what happens to the people not only when they reject the solution, but they take it upon themselves to try every other solution except the simple solution that they were first given, simply because they have a bad opinion about the source of that solution. For example, if I tell you that your idea of God may have some miscalculations, and those miscalculations are presenting problems now. If you don't like that, then you may argue with me. But if my calculation or if my solution is more in line with reality, and you reject that, then you'll see me, or you'll see the person who has the proper answer, you'll see them excel in all aspects. You see. So anyway, those are just some questions I wanted to raise up. Peace out, Black family. Super Mike out.